Comment "I am enough" below if you believe in your limitless potential. Today we're diving deep into 10 transformative Stoic principles that will not only make others regret losing you, but also, more importantly, guide you toward a fulfilling, self-reliant, and purpose-driven life. These principles are not about revenge or bitterness, but about reclaiming your worth and embodying the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca. Let's begin this journey of self-mastery together. Rule 1. Master your emotions. Imagine this. Someone walks away from your life expecting you to fall apart, but instead of reacting with anger or despair, you remain calm. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Mastering your emotions doesn't mean suppressing them. It means acknowledging them without letting them control you. When faced with a challenging situation, take a step back and recognize the emotions rising within you. Whether it's anger, sadness, or disappointment, accept these feelings as natural responses. However, as Epictetus reminds us, it is not events that disturb people, but their judgments about them. Let me share a story. A friend of mine once faced a devastating betrayal from a business partner. Initially, his anger consumed him, but instead of lashing out, he decided to reflect. He asked himself, "What can I control here?" The answer was clear. He couldn't change the betrayal, but he could control his response. Over time, he rebuilt his business, stronger and more ethical than before. The next time you feel slighted or abandoned, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Emotional resilience is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself, and one of the most unexpected lessons for others. When you master your emotions, you gain clarity. You make better decisions, protect your peace, and project an unshakable strength. People around you will notice this calm confidence, and they'll wonder how you manage to rise above. That's the power of emotional mastery. Rule 2. Focus on your growth, not revenge. Seneca reminds us, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. When someone leaves, the temptation to prove them wrong can be overwhelming, but Stoics teach us to focus on becoming better, not bitter. Let's consider the story of a young athlete who was cut from his team. He was devastated and initially consumed by the desire to prove the coach wrong. But instead of wallowing in resentment, he shifted his focus. He trained harder, improved his skills, and eventually joined a better team. Years later, that coach admitted he regretted letting him go. When someone exits your life, whether through rejection, betrayal, or indifference, recognize it as an opportunity. Redirect the energy you'd spend on seeking revenge into self-improvement. Take a course to enhance your skills, pursue a forgotten passion, or dedicate time to your physical and mental health. Growth is the ultimate comeback. Revenge chains you to the past, while growth propels you into the future. The beauty of this approach is that you're not just transforming for others to notice, you're evolving for your own sake. And as you grow, the right people will naturally gravitate toward you. Remember, the best version of yourself is not born out of spite, but out of self-love. Let your growth be the silent, undeniable response that speaks louder than any words ever could. Rule 3. Set boundaries without apology. Epictetus advised, know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. Boundaries are a reflection of self-respect. When someone doesn't appreciate your value, it's a reminder to redefine your boundaries. Think of boundaries as the invisible lines that protect your energy, time, and values. Without them, you risk overextending yourself for people who may not reciprocate. A personal story comes to mind. A close friend used to say yes to every request, even when it drained her emotionally and financially. Over time, she realized that her constant availability wasn't appreciated, but exploited. She began to set firm boundaries, and while some relationships faded, the ones that remained became stronger and more respectful. Setting boundaries isn't about being cold or indifferent. It's about prioritizing your well-being. Start small. If someone consistently disrespects your time, let them know you're unavailable during certain hours. If a friend crosses a line, address it calmly but firmly. Boundaries don't push people away. They filter out those who don't value you. And here's the remarkable thing: when you establish boundaries, you teach others how to treat you. People may initially resist, but over time, they'll respect the clarity and strength you bring to your relationships. Rule 4. Embrace solitude as strength. Loneliness and solitude are not the same. Marcus Aurelius often retreated into himself to reflect and renew. He wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Solitude is a practice, not a punishment. In solitude, you have the chance to reconnect with your core values, reassess your goals, and recharge. Instead of fearing the silence, lean into it. Create a daily ritual. Spend 10 minutes in meditation, journal your thoughts, or go for a walk without distractions. Consider the story of the philosopher Epictetus, who was born into slavery and endured unimaginable hardships. Despite his circumstances, he found freedom in his mind. He would often retreat into silence to contemplate life's deeper meanings. His reflections became the foundation of his teachings, which continue to inspire millions. When you embrace solitude, you become less dependent on external validation. You realize that your happiness isn't tethered to someone else's presence. Instead, you find fulfillment within. This self-reliance is a quiet strength, and it's something others will notice and admire. Rule 5. Pursue excellence relentlessly. Here's the truth. People regret losing what they can't replace. Excellence is your calling card. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." Let your actions speak louder than words. Excellence isn't about perfection, it's about effort, growth, and consistency. Whether it's in your career, relationships, or hobbies, aim to surpass your own expectations. Excellence in any area of life requires discipline. Show up, even on the days you don't feel like it. Dedicate yourself to learning, improving, and persevering. Think of figures like Marcus Aurelius, who, despite being the most powerful man in Rome, never stopped striving to be virtuous and just. His dedication to excellence wasn't for applause, it was for the integrity of his character. When you pursue excellence, you inspire others and set yourself apart, and those who underestimated you will be left wondering how they missed your potential. Let your growth and achievements speak for themselves. Rule 6. Cultivate gratitude for lessons learned. When people hurt us, it's natural to focus on the pain. We ask ourselves, "Why me?" Or "What did I do to deserve this?" But the Stoics teach us to view challenges and setbacks as opportunities for growth. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Gratitude isn't just about being thankful for the good things in life. It's about recognizing the value of every experience, especially the painful ones. When someone leaves your life or betrays your trust, it's easy to dwell on what was lost. But what if you shifted your focus to what you gained? Let me share a personal story. A mentor of mine once went through a painful breakup. At first, she was consumed by regret and anger. But as time passed, she began to reflect on the lessons the relationship taught her. She learned to communicate better, to value her own needs, and to recognize red flags early. These lessons became the foundation of her future relationships, which were healthier and more fulfilling. Gratitude doesn't mean denying your pain. It means acknowledging it while recognizing its role in shaping your growth. Take time to journal about the lessons you've learned from life's challenges. Ask yourself, how has this experience made me stronger, wiser, or more compassionate? When you cultivate gratitude, you transform wounds into wisdom. You show resilience in the face of adversity. And as you carry yourself with this grace, others will notice. They'll see someone who turns setbacks into stepping stones, and they'll regret underestimating your strength. Rule 7. Live authentically and fearlessly. Marcus Aurelius posed a powerful question. Why are you afraid of change? Nothing can ever be done without it. Authenticity is one of the most liberating and powerful traits you can embody, but it's also one of the hardest to embrace because it requires vulnerability. Living authentically means aligning your actions with your values, regardless of external pressures. It's about being true to yourself, even when others don't understand or approve. Think of Socrates, who lived and died for his principles. He refused to compromise his beliefs, even in the face of death, because he understood that living authentically was more important than seeking approval. But how do we cultivate authenticity in a world that constantly tries to shape us? Start by reflecting on your core values. What truly matters to you? What kind of life do you want to lead? Once you're clear on your values, let them guide your decisions. Living authentically also means embracing change. Many of us fear change because it disrupts our comfort zones, but the Stoics remind us that change is inevitable and necessary for growth. Instead of resisting it, welcome it as an opportunity to evolve. When you live authentically, you inspire others to do the same. You become a beacon of courage and self-respect, and those who doubted or dismissed you will see what they missed. A person who is unafraid to be themselves. Rule 8. Keep your circle purposeful. Epictetus warned, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you. The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on your life. They influence your thoughts, actions, and even your sense of self-worth. Take a moment to reflect on your current circle. Are the people in your life supportive, encouraging, and aligned with your values? Or do they drain your energy and hold you back? It's not easy to let go of relationships, especially those that have been part of your life for a long time. But sometimes, walking away is the most loving thing you can do, for yourself and for others. I once knew someone who clung to toxic friendships out of loyalty. These friends constantly belittled his dreams and discouraged his growth. Eventually, he realized that staying in those relationships was stunting his potential. He made the difficult decision to distance himself and instead surrounded himself with people who believed in him. The result? His confidence and success skyrocketed. A purposeful circle doesn't have to be large. Quality always outweighs quantity. Seek out people who inspire you, challenge you, and celebrate your wins. And remember, relationships are a two-way street. Be the kind of friend, partner, or colleague who uplifts others as well. When you keep your circle purposeful, you create an environment where growth and positivity thrive, and those who didn't value you will see how much they've lost. Rule 9. Build inner peace as a fortress. When you cultivate inner peace, you become unshakable. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Inner peace isn't something you stumble upon. It's something you build through intentional practices. Meditation, mindfulness, and reflection are powerful tools for creating a calm and centered mind. These practices help you detach from the chaos of the outside world and focus on what truly matters. Consider the example of Nelson Mandela, who endured 27 years in prison, yet emerged with a heart full of forgiveness and a mind untouched by bitterness. How did he do it? By cultivating inner peace. He refused to let his circumstances dictate his state of mind. Building inner peace also involves letting go of grudges and regrets. Holding on to past pain only weighs you down. Instead, focus on the present moment and the opportunities it holds. When you have inner peace, you become a source of strength for yourself and others. People will notice your calm demeanor and wonder how you maintain it despite life's challenges. That's the power of a peaceful mind. It's a fortress no one can penetrate. Rule 10. Always choose purpose over validation. At the heart of Stoicism lies purpose. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." Purpose gives your life direction. It's the compass that guides your decisions and keeps you grounded. In a world obsessed with likes, followers, and external validation, choosing purpose over approval is an act of courage. It means prioritizing what truly matters, even when it's not popular or easy. Think of a time when you pursued something just for validation. Did it bring you lasting fulfillment? Now, contrast that with a time when you followed your purpose, regardless of recognition. Purpose-driven actions leave a deeper, more satisfying impact. Living with purpose requires introspection. Ask yourself, what are my values? What legacy do I want to leave? Once you're clear on your purpose, let it guide every aspect of your life. When you choose purpose over validation, you become unstoppable. You live authentically, inspire others, and create a life you're proud of. And those who doubted you will see the undeniable strength of someone who knows their worth. These 10 rules aren't about making others regret losing you. They're about living so fully and authentically that you inspire yourself and others. Remember, your worth isn't defined by who stays or leaves. It's defined by the life you choose to build. If this video resonated with you, comment below with, "I am enough," and share one rule that stood out the most. And don't forget to subscribe for weekly Stoic wisdom and practical advice. Until next time, stay resilient, stay reflective, and remember, you are enough.